What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the new and improved and restarted Second Stringers podcast. We're going to head back over to the AFC for this might have been the only all-divisional game. Buffalo heading up to New York, or over to New York, to take on the Jets, and they got a big 17-16 win. And the takeaway from this game would have been, if he had stayed healthy, was C.J. Mosley was the best free agent acquisition of the offseason, because he was the best player on the field in this game until he got hurt early in the second half. But I think the biggest takeaway from this game is Josh Allen is a franchise quarterback.
Yep.
He might not have the tangible talents, the straight accuracy, what everyone is looking for. But his intangibles, like every time they would cut to him and some ridiculous turnover had happened, at one point they had turned it over 4 times to the Jets 0. They're down 16-0, and they just kept cutting to the guy, and he was just positive the whole time. Every time they cut to him. And his teammates love him. He's just the consummate professional and great leader, and I think the Buffalo fans got a guy who they deserve, because he reminds me a lot of Buffalo the city in the way he plays and the way he carries himself.
Yep. I couldn't agree with you more on that. He's a legit quarterback. Like I said about Lamar Jackson, I think he showed it. He showed so much poise in that comeback. But on the other side, Sam Darnold, I think he showed that he can play as well. I mean, that first half that he had was pretty decent. There's going to be bumps in the road with new coach and Adam Gase with Le'Veon Bell. That's just going to happen. But Buffalo looks like they're actually a legit pretty good team this year. I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited to watch Josh Allen develop, because I think he's a pretty good quarterback.
People forget that this team made the playoffs 2 years ago, 1, and 2, they might have a top 5 defense in the league.
Yep.
Their defense is unbelievable. And they only got better when they added Ed Oliver. But Edmonds is a stud. Tre'Davious White's an absolute stud. This defense is absolutely outstanding. And the Bills have a chance to win every time they take the field this year, which is a pretty cool thing for a team that didn't necessarily have that for a really long time.
Yeah.
So, this is the other divisional game. I knew there was more than one.
Green Bay, Chicago as well.
Washington heading over to Philadelphia. This game was on track to be the surprise of Sunday, especially considering Washington was the only double-digit favorite or underdog. And they were at one point were they up 21-0? I think they were. Up 21-0.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, Philly ends up getting it back on track, taking the game 32-27. The Redskins got a ridiculous backdoor cover on a last-second touchdown. But that's not the takeaway from this game. The takeaway from this game is Deshaun Jackson does not age. Like, how is this guy? He's definitely been in the league for over 10 years, and he's still the fastest guy on the field every time he plays. Like,
oh, it's crazy.
It doesn't even make sense anymore how fast this guy is. But he was unbelievable, and he's born to play in the NFC East, I guess, because he was brutal in Tampa the last 2 or 3 years he was down there, and all of a sudden he comes back up to Philly, and he looks like he's a top 10 receiver in the league again. He made Josh Norman look like a fool 3 different times. Like,
yep.
Welcome back, Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, Philly played a good game. Carson Wentz showed he can air the ball out to Deshaun Jackson. That's huge for them. I think it really kind of completes their offense. Washington surprised me. I mean, Case Keenum had a good game. He threw for 380 yards, which is pretty crazy, considering it's Case Keenum. And there's much better quarterbacks in the league, and he was 4th in the league this week in passing yards. So he showed that Washington isn't as bad as we expected, I think. Well, as a lot of people expected, they can hang in there with a team like Philly, who some people have going to the Super Bowl.
I got them going to the Super Bowl.
Pardon?
I have them going to the Super Bowl.
There you go. So I think that it was just a surprise that Washington showed that they can hang in there and roll with the punches with a team like that.
This game reminded me so much of last year, week 1, when Tampa went into New Orleans and won the game, and Ryan Fitzpatrick absolutely just lit up the Saints. I think this is going to be a really similar situation where Case is terrible in like 3 or 4 weeks, and we get to see Dwayne Haskins 4 weeks later than we should have. But this team Washington has a lot more pieces than they get credit for, especially on defense. Their front seven's really good, and their secondary is above average, especially with a guy like Josh Norman. But they're better than people think. The issue with them is just their offense, man. Like, they're not putting up 27 points every week.
Yeah, exactly.
Darius Guys got hurt again. Which did you see what Jay Gruden said about Adrian Peterson after the game?
No, I didn't.
He said someone asked him about why Adrian Peterson didn't dress because he was a healthy scratch, and he said, if we ever need to run in the I formation 27 times in a game, then we'll dress him or something. It was something like that. Like, he took like a direct shot, and then Geis is out next week. Awesome. So they're gonna have to play AB. Like, yeah, the Redskins are a grease fire as usual.
Yeah, no.
The next game we're gonna head to is we're gonna head down to Carolina for an NFC showdown between two pretty good rosters. One really good roster and one that's depends on who you ask how good they are. The Rams taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Rams came out on this one 30-27. I think the score of 30-27 is a little closer than this game actually was. Panthers kind of scored a garbage time touchdown at the end that at the end of the day it didn't really dictate how close to this game. Or was it a field goal? Whatever, who cares? The takeaway from this game, I think from the Panthers' perspective, is Cam washed? Is Cam done? Like, I'm serious. Like, I have no idea.
I think he might be, to be honest. Sorry, I have a sore throat. But, I think he might be. I think he's starting to show signs that he's kind of getting there. What do you think on that?
Like, what the heck was that throw on the fumble? Like, how do you miss that?
Yeah, there were a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but some plays that were pretty unexcusable, I'd say. I think he showed signs of aging in the fact that he's just hurt all the time, it looks like.
Yeah, he's either washed or he's hurt, and it's like begs the question, is this guy ever not going to be hurt again?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he got hurt in the freaking preseason. How do you get hurt in the preseason? He's literally the only person who got hurt in the preseason. Like,
yeah, that's not a good look for him, that's for sure.
And then I guess the takeaway for the Rams is the guys behind Gurley looked outstanding.
Yep.
Gurley I think he got 14 carries. It was low teens, which I think it was 14 for 97, which if you're a Gurley fantasy owner, that sucks. But if you're a Rams fan and Gurley touches the ball under 15 times a game and you guys can still rush for over 150 yards, that's kind of the ideal situation because it keeps Gurley as fresh as possible. Darrell Henderson looked outstanding, and I think we all forgot about how good Malcolm Brown is. I don't know why we all forgot about him because he was like a trendy fantasy pick the year he was a rookie. But and for some reason that was Darrell Henderson this year. I guess probably because Henderson was a third-round pick and everyone just kind of assumed that he would take over the backup role. But, the Rams have as many weapons as ever. Cooper Kupp, actually, the takeaway might be for the Rams offense, Cooper Kupp is completely healthy.
Yeah,
and
he looked good.
If Cooper Kupp is healthy, that's a scary thing because he's clearly Jared Goff's safety blanket on especially third down, but really all the time. Goff just looks for him all the time.
Yeah.
And if he's healthy, that's a huge, huge addition to a team that didn't have him last year. And when he went down, it completely affected Goff and the rest of the offense. Maybe even more so than when Gurley got hurt. One of those key cogs. Also, shout out Christian McCaffrey, the best white running back in NFL history, I think. Bill Simmons was talking.
Who else even comes close, to be honest?
Bill Simmons was talking, and he was like, is Christian McCaffrey the first white guy to go first in a fantasy football draft regularly? Like, is he the first guy?
Well, probably. To be honest, who else is there?
The theory was maybe Brett Favre in the 90s before people realized taking a quarterback that high was stupid.
That's fair.
Because, like, I mean, the only other guy I could think of was maybe Pete Gronk, but was anyone taking a tight end that high? Like, no way.
No.
So, yeah, shout out Christian McCaffrey. Hopefully for his sake, Cam can figure it out, because it sucks watching guys like him and Saquon have their primes wasted when we could be seeing some pretty ludicrous things if they had any help around them. And the final 1 o'clock start, Kansas City heading down to Jacksonville. This game, the TV broadcast died and nobody cared because everyone knew how this game was going to finish. The takeaway from this game is, I don't even know if it's a takeaway at this point because I feel like it's obvious. It's that the Kansas City Chiefs offense is unstoppable.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill got hurt and Sammy Watkins turned into Tyreek Hill, which, like,
that was crazy to watch. He looked unbelievable.
Sammy Watkins finally looked like the guy he was supposed to be when he got drafted 5th overall by the Bills. Like, Sammy Watkins was a freak in college at Clemson, and he's never really shown it in the NFL, and a lot of that is due to health. But, man, that first house call he took where he took a slant and was just gone was unbelievable. Like,
yeah. Oh, he's a phenomenal receiver. I mean, he showed that he's finally 100% healthy and ready to go, and he's their third piece.
Yeah. So I think the takeaway for Jacksonville is Nick Foles' injury hurts. There's no way around that. If you're a Jags fan, that one hurts. I mean, you finally got a guy who's supposed to answer the quarterback situation, and yeah, I mean, what can you say? Guy gets hurt on maybe the best throw he's ever made in his career.
And now they have to start a rookie quarterback drafted in the 6th or 7th round. Gardner Minshew is his name, I think.
Outstanding mustache.
The greatest name in, I think, all of professional sports, Gardner Minshew. I love it.
He's an elite mustache.
Yeah, he
played pretty well.
I'd cheer for him. Oh yeah, he did. He did.
I don't know if that's a props to him. I mean, he was unreal at Washington State last year, but I don't know if that's props to him or is Kansas City's defense still horrendous? Like, I think we're gonna find out throughout the next couple weeks. But he looked fine. I think Jacksonville, they're not going to be incompetent at quarterback, which is a positive, I guess. But I don't know how this team wins more than 5 or 6 games without Foles. Like,
yeah,
their season may have ended before it started, which definitely sucks for Jags fans because that throw he made to the rookie Chark was unreal. Like,
yeah.
Holy.
That was nice.
But, yeah. Kansas City, man. They're freaking good.